pages.
Except for Mark Council.
Not yet, Your Honor.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it.
You don't have any recollection of that?
I don't remember it.
Is that your Instagram, BlingQueen258?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and the conversation that you don't recall on that whatsoever?
Yeah, I don't remember it. No.
Okay. Is your testimony here today that you lied in those statements?
Did I lie in my statements?
The allegations that you made to Mr. Henry?
I don't remember making those allegations, so I don't know.
Do you remember sending screenshots of those allegations to a detective?
I remember sending a detective something stating that I didn't threaten Portland.
No.
That's I remember that.
You remember sending screenshots of conversations?
I remember telling him that I did, because he reached out to me, asked me that I threatened to kill Portland, and I said no, I did not threaten Portland.
Okay.
I remember that.
Was there any threats made to you by the defendant?
No, not at all.
In terms of your daughter, Mariah, where is she?
I don't know.
After this incident, did she live with the family of the defendant?
She's always lived down there. Before this incident, she always lived there.
And it's your testimony to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury here today that you saw Jamel Demons on October 26th of 2018.
I think I saw him.
That you spoke with him and heard him on the FaceTime conversation.
I did speak with him, yes.
And it's your testimony that he indicated that it was some sort of shooting that occurred.
Yes, I did, yes.
Okay, and it's your testimony that you saw him on your daughter's cell phone as a video call.
I saw him.
Okay. Is it your testimony today that after that you called Jane King?
Yes, I did call Jane.
And in terms of the conversation with Jane King, that occurred immediately after the FaceTime?
Not probably immediately, but sometime after. I'm not quite sure the time. I don't remember the time, what time it was.
Okay. And it's your testimony to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury today that you were dishonest in your first statement?
I don't remember my first statement.
Okay. Is it your testimony to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that you would
I
lie?
don't remember my first statement. I have no reason to lie to you.
Yes or no? Did you lie to police?
I did not lie to you. No.
Yes or no? Did you lie to police?
No. I didn't lie to you. I don't remember my first statement. You're trying to make me say I remember my first statement. I didn't. For me to say no, I didn't lie would mean I remember my first statement. I don't remember it, so I don't remember.
Well, if you need more time to look it over, I have a copy of it.
I looked it over and I still don't remember it.
Okay. Well,
I could look it over 100 times. I don't remember.
well, if you'd be so kind as to do it one more time.
Yeah, sure. I'll do
You can say that to this jury
I
that
don't
this is
remember that.
not truthful.
Yes.
Please take your time.
Objection asked and answered 5 times, Judge.
Thank you. Objection noted. Overruled.
I honest to God do not remember any of this on here. Like, I don't remember talking. I don't remember. I had a hard time that year, so it's a lot that I don't remember about that year.
Is it your common practice to lie to law enforcement?
Objection.
Excuse me, can I
I'm
see
just
side
going to
door,
law
please?
enforcement.
Quiet, please.
Clear. Is it the transcript that you're saying is on that
I
actual
don't-
version?
Sustain.
I don't.
Excuse me, I sustain the objection.
Okay. Here of you and pay for your bills. Have you ever made a statement that is different than that?
I've never seen anything like that.
Can I approach her?
Sure.
If you would just read this.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Getting you money for my bills.
So, Ms. Holmes, is it your statement testimony that you never stated The promises that were made to us by YNW for me to quit my job and they would take care of us were all lies. They didn't want us talking with prosecutors, but now they've all disappeared. You've never said that before.
I don't remember saying anything like that.
Objection, Your Honor. Move for mistrial.
Thank you. Why don't you go sidewalk?
Ms. Holmes, did you ever say the defendant made you quit your job?
I never say anything like that. I know what's ever made me quit my job.
Objection.
Overruled.
If I may approach him? I'm going to show you this next. Okay. So, Ms. Holmes, I'm going to ask you again. Have you ever made a statement that the defendant made you quit your job and that they would take care of us until the trial was over?
I
Objection.
don't say anything like that.
Okay. So you're denying making that statement?
I don't say anything like that.
Oh.
Objection. Your Honor, can I just have a standing objection so we don't keep interrupting?
Thank you. Any, you stated we heard on the standing objection?
Whatever defense it
That's
chooses
fine.
to
Go
proceed.
ahead.
Okay. So, Ms. Holmes, in terms of the, have you ever said a statement, have you ever made a statement to the effect of, you were told to quit your job and the defense would take care of us?
Of the judge.
No.
Excuse me.
The defense? No.
Why don't you come
Never said
sidewalk?
anything like that.
And we have another motion.
There was an objection made to the last question. I made a determination that was an inappropriate, improper question, and the way it was phrased was totally improper, and therefore I sustain the objection. I am instructing you that you are to disregard the question. All right? I'm going to ask counsel to rephrase the question. Go ahead.
So it's clear. Ms. Holmes, did the defendant ever make you a promise to quit your job and that they had us?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Thank you. Overruled. Proceed.
I don't remember saying anything like that.
So your testimony is that you've never said that.
I
before.
don't remember.
Excuse me, counsel. She answered the question. All right? Let's move on.
So with regards to your statements with Cortland Henry, do you remember speaking and talking about your daughter with Cortland Henry?
No, I don't. What was that?
Into the statements that with regards to October 26th of 2018. Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
You said you feel threatened by
Of
me.
course.
Okay. Did you fail to appear for numerous court appearances?
No, I never served me lied.
Okay, guys, hi. This is the one and only Natasha Reacts. So I've been following this trial for some time from the beginning. This woman here, Miss Felicia, she is the mother of Melly's ex-girlfriend. So when the crime happened, of course, and of course, Melly spoke to his girlfriend after the crime. He called his girlfriend, apparently, and the police went to the mother's home, and the police basically asked for a statement. And the daughter didn't give a statement because she was, underage at that time. But the mother gave a statement. She pretty much said that she saw Nelly over the phone. And he said he did something, So now she is retracting her statement, and she has an attitude on stand. She has an attitude. It seems like she's very upset. And I could certainly understand why she's upset, because what happened is she became uncooperative. Okay. And she's blaming the prosecutors for forcing her to testify against Melly. So what's strange to me, what's pretty odd to me, is that she basically threatened someone by, I think it was DM or something like that. She basically said that, if they don't give me my money that they promised me, like someone from Melly's team promised her money, told her to quit her job and promised her money. And it says that on the actual DM, which she admitted that is her DM, but of course she doesn't remember. And the thing is, and I see what they do, what lawyers tell defendants or even witnesses to do a lot is, if you don't want to answer a question or you don't want to make the person look bad, just say you don't remember or you don't recall. And that's just to evade and avoid questions, to answer questions, of course. And pretty much they can't say you're lying because you're saying you don't remember. I think she recalls a lot, but she's not favoring the prosecution. Okay, because apparently for me, this is my own opinion based off of me just looking at her demeanor and what was written on the DMs and everything. I honestly believe that as soon as she received the money from Melly's team or Melly's mother, as soon as she received the money, I guess they promised her, they told her she blames them. She said, they made me quit my job. You guys made me quit my job. And you ain't send me no money. So basically everything was about money for her. She was not even concerned about her children or anything like that. It was all about money, which she's crazy because she could have got killed because she was so damn greedy. Her focus was not on protecting her child and her focus was on money, on vacation. And so what she did was, as soon as she got the money, she took off and went to vacation. What's strange is that the prosecutor asked her, I passed to say, have they ever promised you anything? She's like, no. Even before the prosecutor finished her statement, she'll just cut her off and just say no. And then she said, have you ever received money from Melly or his team? She said no, but then again later on she says, oh yeah, we all went to vacation as a family together and he paid for it. Didn't you just say you never received money from him? So it just shows how her stories are inconsistent. And basically, I feel, based off of everything, she has been paid. I mean, this is the DM, right? From Bling Queen 258. Again, I guess that's her name, Bling Queen 258. And she, the author, that's the author. It was on Instagram. And then YNW Shade Room is the person she was talking to. That person said, I wish I could do something about this, but don't worry. God's seeing this and open and doors opening for you. You got this. That's from somebody from YNW Shade Room. And Bling Queen, which is, of course, Felicia, which is Nelly's mother girlfriend, she goes, the promises that were made to us by YNW for me to quit my job and they would take care of us were all lies. They didn't want us talking with prosecutors, but now they all have disappeared. I quit my job based on what Trak and his wife or company said. Now look, we can't go home. We spending all this money I work for and they taking trips and enjoying life. If you think I was a beast, I don't see. Wait until this trial. I'm not holding nothing back. I'm going to say everything. I'm doing what I should have done in the beginning. They can call me. They can call me snitch bitch. I don't care. So this is what she's saying. So basically she said this Trak100, which is Melly's, I guess, manager. I guess she got jealous because they're taking vacations and everything and they promised her money and apparently they didn't pay her. And this was back in June 5th, 2022. This crime was committed on October 26, 2018. And this woman in 2022, she's upset because they haven't paid her as promised. So, again, she went to the Virgin Islands. As soon as she got paid, she went to Virgin Islands and stayed there. And then the prosecutors were serving her. They couldn't find her. Then they found out she took off and went to Virgin Islands because she didn't want to testify because she got paid already. So she went to go vacation in Virgin Islands with the money she received. And I think this Trak100 guys, the manager is super involved in this. They need to subpoena his ass and bring him to court because he's super involved. Why would you pay this woman money? Why? What are you paying her for? And why is she even asking for money? And why would you tell her quit her job and you would take care of her. Why would you do that? This Trak100 person knows way more than he's letting on. And they should actually bring him to the stand because something is wrong. I think to be honest, I think the defense team will call him to the stand. I really think that they will call him to the stand because he's probably going to be a witness and he'll probably lie his ass off for Melly because, of course, he's telling Melly he loves him and all that. You know how much money Melly is making for this manager? A lot of money. He's making way more money even now that Melly's in jail. He's making a lot of money off of his music, even especially with this trial thing. Trak100 is making money off of Melly. And it seems like he does care for Melly, but again, he knows the truth. And he is basically, he knows everything. He knows everything what's going on, and he's paying people off. That's why I said Melly and his team, Melly's team is paying people off. And clearly here, this message back in June 5th, 2002, this woman was threatening a YNW member, Shade Room or whatever. And definitely it got back to Trak100 and he ended up paying this woman. She lucky they didn't try to, kill her or anything because she was crying here for money. And how could you trust somebody that's crying for money that's basically saying that this person was going to pay me off to shut up? And once they paid me off, I took off and I went to Virgin Islands. And then the prosecutor got wind of it. Then, of course, Virgin Islands have connections or ties with the U.S. Then they had her come back here. Then they had her an ankle monitor. Whose fault you think that was? She can't get upset at the prosecutors because you gave a written statement. You gave a statement. Okay. Then you tried to recant the statement as soon as you got paid and tried to flee the country. Actually, you fled the country to avoid testifying, to avoid discovery and all that other stuff, deposition, to avoid that. That's why she did that. Pay for play. That's what they call it in politics. Pay for play. And she's getting an attitude all over. She's on the stand getting an attitude saying that they threatened her, this and that. No, they didn't threaten you. The thing is, you took off as soon as you got played and you changed your tune. You lied on the stand. You say you don't remember half of this. How could you not remember your phone number? Everybody knows you lied. While you on the stand, you were so defensive. The point is, even the DM says the truth. And you flat out said, no, you don't remember that. Of course you remember a DM. It was back in 2022, last year. It was not in 2018. Don't say you don't remember it. You flat out lied. And if I was the prosecutor, I would have put your ass in jail for 2 months for lying. Because you're a money-hungry woman who lies on the stand. You committed perjury. I'm shocked that they didn't put your ass in jail for 2 months to teach your ass a lesson. But she is pathetic. She is pathetic. She's money-hungry. And she's only protecting her own interest, not even her children's interest. Like something could have happened to her and her kid for being so greedy for money. She wanted to live the celebrity life. I mean, she came in there smiling at Melly and whatever, and she knew the truth. She knows the truth. But the thing is, she doesn't have allegiance to Sack or the other guy, Juve. She don't have no allegiance to them. And she's been communicating with Melly's mom. They've been arguing, communicating. Why? What do you think it's for? It's about her money that she was promised. I wouldn't trust this woman from a 10-foot pole. She's a liar. She lied on stand. Her stories are inconsistent. And she basically changed her tune because she was paid. I believe she was paid by Trak100, and Trak100 knows the truth. He knows everything. And he's heavily involved, and they should subpoena his ass and bring his ass to court. I'm surprised they're not pulling up charges on him for, because obviously this guy is heavily involved in Melly's stuff. They should have brought charges up for him I don't know, but he needs to, I need to see him on the stand. He needs to be on the stand, and I think the defense team will bring him on the stand. Right now, I cannot tell you whether Melly will be found guilty or not guilty because I have not heard the other side yet. I want to know what they will conjure up because right now there's a lot of questions that needs to be answered. They have established the fact that Melly, with the video, that he went inside the same car with the other three gentlemen. Okay, he went inside the same car and then he basically did not go home that night. Okay, and then he changed clothes and he was in a different clothes based off of somebody's testimony. He was in a different set of clothes. Okay, so that's strange. And then Bortland, which is the co-defendant, never mentioned Melly was in the car. And Melly is now basically saying Bortland did it. Bortland lied, basically pointing the fingers at his co-defendant, who basically took ultimately would probably take the charge for him now. I don't understand how your friend, he basically had your back and you just turned on him and said this and that. He did it and whatever. He lied. He did all this stuff. But the thing is, I think both of them know what happened. Even if they didn't do it, they know who did it and they know exactly what happened. And it's mighty strange that these two people got shot up and nothing happened to them. It's very strange, especially since both of them were in a car and they were sitting right next to each other. So it's very strange that they didn't get hurt at all. And of course, what's his name? Melly didn't have blood on him because he didn't go to the hospital with these people. He didn't have no gun residue. He did not go to the hospital. Nor did Bortland said he was in the car. They found that out afterwards. So it's too late. You can't find gun residue after you figure it out by surveillance video that he was in the car. That was probably days later, weeks later, they figured that out through surveillance video. But they didn't know at the time. Otherwise, they would have went and looked for Melly right away. But they didn't because they didn't even know he was part of it. So again, a lot of stuff is happening after the fact, different timing. So of course you wouldn't see gun residue on Melly. Of course you wouldn't see no blood on him. Nobody knew he was there because Bortland didn't say anything. Bortland needs to be very careful.
Of that deposition,
Yes, my lawyer got provided a copy.
when you, in that deposition, were you asked if your prior
Objection.
statement...
Improper impeachment.
I heard it over. You can ask your question, Counsel.
Ms. Holmes, prior to that deposition starting, were you given your prior statement to review?
What you mean?
Were you?
I understand. The deposition that I did on December 22nd? Yes,
Yes.
it was given to my lawyer yesterday, right before,
Oh.
briefly to look at, yes.
Oh. So the deposition you that was
It was
provided
given to
to
my
your
lawyer
attorney
yesterday, yes it was.
Okay. So, do you remember coming in for that deposition?
Yes, I do. I was in jail, you put me in jail. Yes,
Correct.
I remember.
And
Never forget it.
so it's clear in terms of you don't want to be here.
You're making me be here. Yes, I have
Yes.
a house, a band on my leg. I'm a nurse. I can't even work properly. Yes.
You were under house arrest because you failed to comply with the
Objection.
subpoena?
No, you did not serve
Excuse
me
me,
subpoena.
sustain. Listen, how we're gonna do this is you ask your questions, Counsel, ma'am, listen to her question, answer her question.
Yes, I
All right?
am. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. So going back to the deposition.
Yes.
On December 14th of 2022.
Yes.
Do you remember coming to my office?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you remember being asked questions at that time?
Yes, I do.
Do you recall being given a copy of your prior statement of December 12th, 2018?
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember changing, but I'm pretty sure. I do.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is permission to approach her on it?
With what, Counsel?
Her deposition.
Objection, Your Honor.
I have to give her an opportunity to...
I saw my
Excuse me, there's no question pending of you. All right, you can proceed, Counsel.
Okay. So, counsel, I'm showing her page 10, line 10 through 17. Okay, so just read them silently to yourself. So back on December 14th of 2022, were you asked if you need to make any corrections or deletions to the statement of December of 2018.
That's what the deposition said, judicially.
And did you indicate that there was no corrections or deletions in those statements?
I don't remember, but that's what's on the deposition.
Okay. So, December of 2022, you said that this was a correct statement.
Objection.
Sustained.
So, Ms. Holmes, is the December 2018 statement that you gave correct and honest?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Excuse me. You have to let, I know, understand you're trying to answer the question, Ms. Holmes, but when they raise an objection, you have to let me answer the objection first.
Yes,
all
sir.
right? The objection notice overruled. Question is the statement, repeat your question.
Is this December 2018 statement correct and honest?
I don't remember the December 2018 statement.
In December of 2022,
Yes, ma'am.
did you state that it was an honest and correct statement?
That's what you put in the deposition. I don't remember saying it, so I can't remember verbatim what happened that day. I remember some parts of this deposition, but not all.
Okay, is there anything that you need to refresh your recollection to determine whether or not I'm being truthful and accurate as to what the question was in your answer?
I don't know what to say to that.
Okay.
Is that a question?
I've asked if there's anything that
Excuse
was
me,
helpful.
one at a time. All right? Just one at a, let her finish her answer before you ask the next question.
So, Ms. Holmes, is there anything that would help refresh your recollection?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Would the audio of the statement of December 2018 help you?
Objection.
What's the objection?
It's irrelevant. She testified 3 times.
Excuse me, thank you. Not us to this, go ahead, overruled.
I don't know. I don't.
So, Ms. Holmes, with regards to the events of October 26th of 2018,
Yes, ma'am.
did you travel down here to Broward County?
Yes, I did.
Who did you come with?
My daughter Mariah.
Okay, where did you go?
We went to one of Janelle's friend's house.
And whose house was that?
Frida.
Okay. And now approaching what's been previously shown to defense counsel and marked as states N for identification purposes only. Ms. Holmes, do you recognize the 2 individuals in that photograph?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
I know Frida from being on Instagram from rapping. He's a rapper.
Okay, any other individual in that photograph?
My daughter's boyfriend.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I apologize, I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear your answer. Could you
Which
repeat?
one? Do I recognize?
Thank you.
I do recognize Frida from Instagram for being a rapper, and I recognize Janelle from dating my daughter.
You're at this time, the state will request to move states N in as the next covered exhibit.
Any objection?
Relevance.
Overruled, it'll be admitted.
States N, be more states 62.
This is the photo that you can see on your screen that you just identified? Okay. So when you said Frito, is this the individual's house you went to?
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Holmes, how much money has the defendant's manager given you since the October of 2018?
Objection. Relevance.
Why don't you come sidewalk?
Yes, ma'am.
How much money have you gotten from the defendant, Jamal Simmons' manager?
None.
And with regards to that specific statement? Ms. Holmes, you have formerly had a credit union
I
account?
should do launch credit union
Okay. And at Launch Credit Union, you've banked there for a number of years?
many years.
The credit union that you've been at, it's been your account, and I won't put your account number on the record for that reason.
Your Honor, object to this line of questioning based on the court's ruling.
Objection, no, it's overruled, proceed.
So your testimony is that you have never been given money whatsoever.
I've never been given money for personal use.
Okay. So the question is, how much money have you been given by the defendants?
For a vacation for all of us, for him, his wife, and me, to pay for it as far as, he gave me $5,000 for Airbnb, and I gave him $1,000 to deposit that.
So he did give you money?
Not for personal use.
Okay.
Excuse me, can we clarify who he is,
Objection, Your Honor.
Jameson Francois?
Objection, no, just clarify, counsel.
Sure. So it's clear, who is Jameson Francois?
He's Nelly's manager.
And you mentioned his wife as well. Who's his wife?
I used to know her by AA.
So AA and his wife.
We were all good friends.
So I'm going to go through now what's been previously shown to defense counsel and marked as states triple M. It's a composite of 17 pages. Did you have an opportunity to review that prior to coming into court today?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And in terms of the individuals and the phone numbers that are on that, do you recognize your own phone number?
No, I do not.
Okay. Going forward through the contents of that particular item, do you recognize a conversation about a snake?
No, I do not. I know they had a snake. I don't recognize this conversation.
Okay. With regards to the conversation about the snake that you do remember, what do you remember about the snake?
That they had a snake.
What happened to it?
Objection.